What's good, y'all boys? It's your boy Frankie, and I'm back for another reaction today. So today we're going to be reacting to the rise of Sexyy Red, man. A lot of people got a lot of controversial opinions on Sexyy Red. I got my own personal opinions, so I'm going to be letting those out throughout the video as well, man. But if y'all looking forward to this video, go ahead and grab your popcorn, your nachos, whatever you need to sit back and relax, because this is going to be a little bit of a long one, man. So without further ado, that's enough yakking, chatting, and catting. Let's get right into it.
On the 15th of March 2024, Sexyy Red released her latest single, Get It Sexy. This came with a raucous music video featuring the biggest streamer in the world, Aiden Ross, recreating the classic scene from American Pie, as well as a scene where Sexyy Red was on a date with Drake and rejected him. She knocked back the most successful rapper that's ever lived. Now that's a ballin' music video. This track was a guaranteed success, and as of just 12 days since the release of the video, as I'm writing this story, it's racked up over 4 million views. Now Sexyy Red has become rapidly the most buzzing female rapper in the music industry, but behind the music is a dark secret, a shady formula encoded into her persona that aims to provoke and piss off anybody who comes across her music. From the release of her breakout single Pound Town, describing the vivid detail of her nether regions, to her
Bro, like, that was insane. So everybody know that song Pound Town.
describing the
Y'all know the lyrics without him even have to put it on the screen, but y'all can see it right here. When I first heard that song, man, I ain't gonna lie. When I first heard that it was a real song, I searched it up too, just to see, like, and hear, like, what the song was about. I couldn't believe that was actually in the song, bro. Like, to me, that was the most crazy thing I've ever heard a female say in a song. I think probably the most crazy thing I ever heard in a rap song, period, bro. Like, the amount of just the audacity was insane when I heard that, bro.
vivid detail of her nether regions, to her blood gang affiliations, or even her posting her own sex tape to her official Instagram page. In the age of social media today, the rewards seem to go to the people willing to act the most outrageous and offensive. And in many ways, Sexyy Red is the archetype of dialing up your ratchetness to cause maximum offense and making maximum money. But is this really just her being herself, or has her whole persona been a carefully crafted lie with the aim of upsetting as many people as possible and making her and her handlers as rich as possible in the process? Well, today,
hey, I definitely think that a lot of what Sexyy Red does is an act. I think, yeah, Sexyy Red, that's her personality to an extent. But, bro, I gotta believe that a lot of what she does is like somebody telling her to do it. Like, I feel like the reason Sexyy Red is so popular, bro, is because she embodies what everyone who is not black, what they think black women act like. Sexyy Red is what the world, or let's just say America, thinks the average black woman is. And because of that, bro, they low-key saw a gold mine. It was like, okay, let's feed into this degeneracy. Let's feed into this ghetto-ness. Let's feed into this toxic behavior because we can make a whole lot of money on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, today's internet stars are usually the most famous, like bro said, from who could do the most degenerate shit.
today, we're going to answer that question once and for all. This is the disturbing rise of Sexyy Red. Sexyy Red, real name Janae Nera Werry, was born in the north side of St. Louis on April the 15th, 1998.
To start things off from the beginning, which part of St. Louis are you from?
The north side.
Okay, that's cool. I mean,
I'm from the north side.
Clearly proud of her city, Sexyy now has the St. Louis STL badge tattooed onto her actual face. Now, this is a city with somewhat of a history within hip-hop, admittedly amongst some of the more forgotten and memeable rappers such as Nelly or Chingy. But the city did arguably produce one of the best drum makers in hip-hop right now, Metro Boomin. In an interview with ATHJES TV, Sexyy Red actually gave an insight into her early life in St. Louis.
Violence and
Yeah. It just, life was miserable. Like, I was living with my baby daddy mama. Like, I just, wasn't, when you just ain't where you want to be at in life and you just...
Sexyy explains that she struggled in the past having a child when she was young and that she had to share a home with the mother of her children's father. She would explain that St. Louis is a volatile place and that there's not many opportunities to make it out. However, before she blew up in music, Sexyy had actually managed to make her own lucrative past, escaping the cycle of poverty. She actually became a prominent hairstylist in St. Louis, making a big name for herself in the city.
See, but I feel like it's like that anywhere you go, any hood, really. Like, any hood you could get into what you want to, bro, but just because it's around you don't mean you gotta do it. But I mean, the hairstylist sound decent.
Sexyy actually claims that at one point she was doing everybody's hair, all the way to the point where she was making around $4,000 a month, even to the point where she would actually have people in the same house who were ops, setting aside their beef momentarily for the opportunity to get their hair done by the go.
Hey, yo, that's insane, bro. Imagine, like, being in tour with somebody from this side of town and be like, nah, bro, like, I gotta get my hair done. Like, what, they gonna respect that?
I used to do her. I used to do other, like, I could find ways to make money. But my main thing was her, for sure.
Is this like through word of mouth? Is it?
No, like, everybody know I was the hood hottest herself. Like, I did everybody her. Everybody named mama her, literally. Grannies, ops, like, I done had beefing in the same, and they in my house, but I ain't know they was beefing, you know, like.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I used to do her, like, real good.
How much do you think you were making a week back then doing hair?
Like, over 1,000.
Like $1,000 a week?
Yeah, it used to be
That's
like,
nice bread.
You said what?
I said, that's nice bread.
No,
Yeah,
it is,
and then
though,
I
for
was
real.
young. So, and this wasn't normal, because, like, it's like, it wasn't nobody really doing her where I was from. I was the one that was popular doing all the her. And I was the only one that could do the braids that I used to do.
Oh,
so
okay.
everybody came to me for the Sexyy Red braids, the true red braids, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
However, hair might not have been the
That's
only
hard.
means that Sexyy sought out to make money. St. Louis is far from a safe haven in the United States, and it seems that a lot of people in the city are forced to turn to illegal measures when it comes to getting by and making money.
No, that's not the kind of stuff we do in my city. Like, it be stuff, gun charges, drug charges, fleeing the police, like stealing cars, like that. That's the kind of problems we got where we from.
As of 2017, the city actually has the
Bro, like, okay, I guess she's saying, like, this the kind of problems they got, but, like, why does it sound like she was happy? I don't know. It just almost seems like we so desensitized. Like, I ain't gonna say she was happy to it, but it's like if you from any inner city or any hood, it's like you almost become desensitized to that. Like, you can even tell in the way she was saying it, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, this is normal. Which for a lot of us it is. I get it, bro, but it's insane. That's crazy, bro.
highest murder rate in the country. And as her name or even her hair would actually give away, Sexyy Red indeed has close ties with the Blood Gang in St. Louis, particularly on the north side of the city. In these younger pictures of Sexyy Red, she can be seen throwing up the Blood B and sporting her notorious all-red hairstyle, clearly banging blood. And she was seemingly tapped in with the Blood Gang since childhood. More specifically, a subset of the Bloods called the 45 Retta Bloods from the Penrose area. On the St. Louis gang map, we can actually see that their territory is located to the north of the city center and is surrounded by various different gang sets. The gang is also known to go by the name 4500 Margaretta or the Retta Mob. Now, not that much is known about this gang, but there are traces of their heritage scattered all around the internet, such as this YouTube video paying homage to the set and showing numerous members of this gang throwing up their signs.
My backyard, I go through the alleyway, there's Margaretta. You run out of weed.
Oh, me. Margaretta, 4500.
Now, Sexy's early life in St. Louis unfortunately saw her becoming a victim to the treacherous streets, as she would publicly mention being involved in shootouts with her own baby's father, with these sort of bangouts apparently even occurring on the very same day that that couple were going to the hospital to find out the gender of their child.
Thank God that, you know, I mean, you were pregnant, anything could have happened.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy.
Did he start shooting back?
Yeah, it was a shootout. It was a whole shootout. That's the reason he alive.
Sexyy has even mentioned how she's accustomed to this kind of lifestyle, stating outright that she only really wants to date street guys. Now, it seems like over the years, growing up in this rough environment led to street activity being completely normalized in Sexyy Red's life, and she would ultimately find herself being excited by shootouts, police chases, and violence.
But that's the excitement, you know, that's the excitement. And that's what street dudes bring. They bring that excitement, like high speed, running in front of police, shootout, shooting with like that.
And because of her talent in the salon, she was already hood famous.
And what's crazy about that is like, okay, I get she's a product of her environment, whatever, that's what she into. But it's like you give somebody like that a platform to talk to the youth who ain't in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Kids who really have more of a choice to do better things with themselves. Like they'll see something like this and be like, oh, them the type of dudes I should like too. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, it all starts to kind of fall into place when you really look at it, like where they talk about where Sexyy Red came from and like how she is now, bro. Like they're really pushing the narrative. I really believe that Sexyy Red was given the stage that she was given because she is the idea of what the world thinks a black woman is. That's Sexyy Red. They think 100% of black women are just like Sexyy Red. And because of that, she's getting the biggest stage to show anyone who really may not have any interactions with a black woman, like, oh, this is what a black woman looks like. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, it's crazy.
In the city, with an unbeatable confidence that meant Sexyy Red was not scared to experiment and try new things to get by. And in 2018, she would make the biggest decision of her life to pick up a microphone and try her hand at rapping.
She look like Young Thug, gang. Thugger.
Sexyy Red actually begun rapping out of pure circumstance. As she would explain in her first interview, it actually all stemmed from an ex-partner cheating on her. After finding out that the man had betrayed her, Sexyy decided to write and record a diss track aimed at him. And surprisingly, that man's friends would actually quite enjoy the track, and they
Nah, gang, she ain't never write a diss track for somebody cheating on her, bro. That's crazy.
encouraged her to pursue music and keep putting out songs.
I had a friend, you know, we were talking. He made me mad, so I wrote a diss song about him, and I
was it a boo, a bang,
yeah,
or something?
it was my boo.
Okay.
It was my boo-boo. I made a diss song about him, and I showed it to all his friends, and he was mad, but they was like, she straight hard, for real, like, you straight hard. So I was like, for real?
Following the success of this diss, Sexyy Red would find deeper confidence for her new craft, because then she decided to make an official track. This time, it was a remix to FBG Duck's classic street anthem, Slide. Sexyy Red was clearly influenced by Chicago drill, likely due to the similar havoc that was ongoing in the streets of St. Louis.
Everybody is influenced by Chicago, bro. Everybody's influenced by Chicago. Like, anything, I feel like, anything rap, drill, anything along them lines, it's got something to do with Chicago, bro.
And the activities of her own gang. Now, the lyrics of her version of the song would include Sexyy rapping about finessing men for their money, rapping things like, first I do that sweet talk, and then we milk him for them bands, as well as claiming that she has plenty of smoke, or how she would roll her ops up in a backwood. In the second verse, Sexyy would actually show early signs of her future self, describing her dealings with men and stealing other people's partners in vulgar detail. And despite the audio and production quality being fairly low, it was clear from the content that Sexyy Red had the charisma to warrant a successful career if she chose to stick it out at music. And while her flow and lyrics were certainly juvenile, the song itself gained enough traction to make a serious name for herself within St. Louis. Perhaps it wasn't the most sonically pleasing, but the track showed Sexyy Red's ability to unapologetically be herself. Now, the track itself eventually even got the attention from the original slider FBG Duck himself, and Duck would actually even be there on the day of the video shoot. In a now resurfaced interview, Sexyy can even be seen standing behind Duck, holding a huge wad of cash and discussing her career. Now, Sexyy hadn't even come up with her rap name at this point, and when she was asked about it, she would respond that she doesn't know what it is, but that it needs to be something with red in it.
Wait, what's your rap name?
I don't know yet. Song with red, though.
The interviewer then asks her who was the man that she finessed to get the wad of cash that she was holding.
So who you finessed to get that band right there?
I can't tell y'all.
Okay, yeah.
That ain't y'all business.
Now, hilariously at this point, FBG Duck actually gets upset and forces the cameraman to end the interview, leading many commenters to believe that this money was in fact his, sparking speculation he may well have got up in them guts.
He definitely hit
You finessed to get that
tonight,
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, bro. FBG Duck, he's from the city. He low-key had a buzz. I guess, rest in peace, right? Low-key had a buzz definitely at that time. And Sexyy Red trying to come up and she remixed his song. Bro flew out to go see her. He hit, bro. Come on now. We not stupid. He hit.
Another clip would actually surface from this day, showing Sexyy Red dancing with Duck and FBG Young to some unreleased songs. And there was yet another funny clip of Sexyy Red allegedly trying to sneak Duck's money into her bag. Now, years later, Sexyy would discuss this night with ATHJES TV, giving credibility to the rumors that the money was indeed not hers, as she even admits that she only had $30 in her pocket.
You went to Chicago with $30 in your pocket?
Not even $30. Like, me and my friend, we used to just be doing just traveling.
Oh, okay. She went to Chicago.
And then, one of us and I had no money. I'd be like, bitch, we gonna split this 15-15.
Now, Sexyy was aware of the traction that her name was building, and she decided to continue to pursue music. And the next song she came up with truly had the city divided.
Y'all remember this song? Boom, 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 boom.
On the 1st of July 2018, Sexyy Red released a video for her official single, ATHJES. Just like Slide, this was another remix or reworking of a classic song. This time, the sample features the instrumental to Vanessa Carlton's hit 1,000 Miles, the single that was made viral by the classic Terry Crews dancing scene in the movie White Chicks. Now, Sexyy Red would claim that she saw a remix of the song online and decided to give her own go at rapping on the beat.
So how did 1,000 Jugs come about?
Well, I was on the internet and I seen a dude had did it and he was saying boom boom. So I'm like, ooh, I can remix this. But I was just playing when I did it.
And it was this single that actually took Sexyy to another level in St. Louis, but maybe not for the reasons she had hoped. In the interview, Sexyy explains that most of the people around her clowned her for this song and told her not.
No, I remember when that song came out, bro. It was doing numbers. It was like the same thing as the Pound Town song. Like when I heard the little snippet or whatever, I'm like, this can't be a real song. And I feel like a lot of y'all did the same thing when it first came in. Y'all like, this can't be real. Ain't no way. And you went and looked it up, and because of that, a view is a view. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so that's why it went viral.
Not to put it out, as it would make her a joke in the city.
Yeah. And then I recorded and everybody was laughing at me. In the studio, when I recorded, I'm like, shoot, what's funny?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Right, I'm like, and then that's when some people liked it, but they like, man, don't record that. Don't put that out there like that. You're going to make a joke of yourself. You're going to make a joke of yourself. So I was like, kind of didn't want to put it out like that. I had been wrote that song. I just never dropped it.
When listening to the song, it becomes clear as to why many were taken off guard by the track, as Sexyy sings her take on 1,000 Miles, reimagining the chorus in her exaggerated ratchet voice. The song itself is compiled of hilarious boom-boom ad-libs and features tongue-in-cheek lyrics of her rapping about killing goofies. Sexyy appears to even reference a possible run-in with her ops on the song, suggesting that she'd sent them running so fast that they left behind their tennis shoe. Now, the verses of the song weren't exactly filled with complex bars or metaphors, but it was a perfect depiction of Sexyy Red's ratchet personality. And from here, Sexyy decided to ignore her haters, going forward with the record, even filming an equally outrageous music video, with her toting guns and walking around her St. Louis hood with a goofy-looking man who looks like he has no business of being there. There were scenes of Sexyy Red strumming an AR rifle like a guitar and skipping around the neighborhood with that goofy. Now, Sexyy Red clearly didn't take herself too seriously, and she clearly understood the recipe for going viral on the internet, which doesn't always have to rely on good quality music or well thought out lyrics. In the end, she chose to release that single that many people had clowned her for, ultimately doubling down on the theme with an equally outrageous music video. But it turned out she had actually made the right choice, as the video amounted to hundreds of thousands of views, making her a household name in the streets of St. Louis. That single would land her first radio interview on Hot 104.1 FM, where in a wholesome display she was actually joined by her own mother. Sexyy had already been making...
Wait, that's her mom?
That's her OG? 104.1 FM, where in a wholesome...
They do kind of look alike, but why her OG look younger than her though? She need to stay off them yerks, gang. Her OG look younger than her. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Display, she was actually joined by her own mother. Sexyy had already been making legitimate moves to further her career in the city, even performing Slide to a big crowd in St. Louis just days after 1,000 Jugs was released. Sexyy by this point clearly realized there was a formula to getting views and going viral. She had the image, the lyrics, and the gangster affiliations that she would need to blow up in rap music quick time. And the more outrageous her songs and videos and lyrics were, the more fame and success she would see, whether people hated her or not. It may be possible that 1,000 Jugs was so influential that it might have even been the inspiration for Young and Ace to choose that very same beat in 2021 when him and other ATK members chose to record the classic diss track Who I Smoke, which I covered extensively in my video about the war in Jacksonville. But anyway, in her interview, Sexyy Red would actually give an insight into how she felt becoming a meme off the back of these records.
About and how you feel like getting put on like all these different social media platforms.
I mean, like, it's just crazy to me. I did not think, it's just so funny to me when I just go on like the internet and see me as a meme and see what people say about me, because I'm like, I never thought that I would get out there all the way like that. Like, I was always popular all my life though. Like, everybody already...
Hey, that's a glass half full way to look at it. At least she was positive about the whole situation, because a lot of people would have folded. A lot of people can't take that pressure to see themselves becoming a meme. Like, a lot of people would have folded.
Already knew me in the city, but now it's viral. Like, for real. It's kind of weird.
You was on your Insta story the other day and you was walking and dude was like, hey, I know you. A couple dudes stopped you. How that feel now?
Everybody stop me everywhere I go now.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go. It don't matter where I go. I go to the nail shop. I can go to the beauty supply, the supermarket. They gonna be like, you Sexyy Red. You just, hey, was you that girl on that video with that white boy with that ponytail with that? Like, they always say stuff.
She would go on to explain that she saw social media as a blessing.
So I always ask people this question: do you feel like social media is a curse or a blessing?
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, it was harder for people to get noticed without social media. But now that you got social media, it's so much faster for people to get seen and go viral and stuff like this. Like, that's a blessing.
Now, having just released 2 songs, Sexyy Red at this point was getting very clued up on how to manipulate the audience for views and exposure. And Sexyy Red would aim to keep this momentum going, releasing the drug anthem Free Smoke in the same month as 1,000 Jugs. And in the next year, on the 1st of January 2020, Sexyy would follow that up with another street anthem called Northside. On this song, she chose to lean heavily into her blood gang affiliations, choosing a strategy not dissimilar to what Fake Blood 6ix9ine had done to go viral just a few years before this. In the video, Sexyy was seen sporting a red bandana, patterned shorts, and a red rag tied to her hand whilst throwing up numerous blood gang signs. And the lyrics themselves would pay homage to her Northside roots, even dissing other neighborhoods in St. Louis, such as the West and South Side. And she would even claim in the song that she is personally down to go on drills. But sadly, unlike 6ix9ine's Blood Antics, this song didn't actually get the attention that Sexyy was looking for, and ultimately she chose to take a brief hiatus, returning to her roots at the salon.
So rap wasn't working out, you know, the last few years.
I mean, it was working. My music was still going up.
You definitely were. I mean, no disrespect. Like, you definitely were doing your thing. Like, you were household name in your city. You were doing your thing, moving around. You had shows and you had fans.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, like, you couldn't get the things that you really wanted off rap. So I don't want to disrespect your early career, but what were you doing to make money while you were trying to, you know, build that nationwide buzz?
I used to do her.
But in 2021, Sexyy Red would come back to music, releasing a number of singles which led up to her debut mixtape titled Ghetto Superstar. And to kick off the year, she released the shockingly titled track, Slob on My Cat. This was obviously a homage to the hip-hop classic by 3 6 Mafia, Slob on My Knob. And it would appear that Sexyy Red had another smart strategy of using famous samples of classic records to amplify her career. The original 3 6 Mafia song was an example of one of the most vulgar tracks in the early days of hip-hop that ultimately picked up a lot of attention, which made it a great choice for Sexy's emerging style, and her choice of lyrics certainly did not disappoint. And the next year, Sexyy would release the music video for that song, which ultimately went on to be her biggest hit at that point. And Sexyy would continue releasing her singles, as well as a slew of videos, such as the drill-inspired track Hood Bitch, where she can be seen holding up guns and red blood rags. At this point, Sexyy was picking up steam in the industry, and soon, celebrity co-signs would give her a much-needed stamp of approval. In 2022, JT from the City Girls would give Sexyy Red a public shout-out, letting the world know that her music slaps. Although her mixtape and recent singles at the time were all amassing good views in the hundreds.
I low-key feel like there was like levels to where female rap is now. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you look at it, like, okay, Nicki Minaj, boom, she was something that we had. I mean, if you want to go further back than that, I guess the oldest female rapper that I could think of is like Eve. Okay, you had Lil' Kim too. So, like, okay, let's go Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim at that time was crazy. Like, nobody seeing Lil' Kim bringing that. Like, seeing a female rapper bringing that much, like, sex appeal to the rap game. Boom. So, you had Lil' Kim. So, then when you come out to Lil' Kim, you had, like, your Remy Ma, who was really more of a rapper type, but still, like, on her sex appeal type shit. Then you get Nicki Minaj, who brought, like, the sexiness and then the rapping. You get what I'm saying? But even still, there was still some conservativeness to it, right? It wasn't as crazy as it got. But as you see over the years, we go Nicki Minaj and then Cardi B comes out. Cardi B was a little more, you know, ratchet than Nicki Minaj was, so Cardi B got famous. And then after Cardi B, you had your Glorilla. Glorilla was a little more ratchet than... No, my bad, I'm skipping somebody. You had the City Girls. The City Girls were a little more ratchet than Cardi B. And then after the City Girls, you had Glorilla. And then after Glorilla, you had Sexyy Red. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's like the standard for female rap was up here. And as the years went on, they just kept, like, lowering the standard, bro. And then we got Sexyy Red.
Hundreds of thousands, Sexyy Red had barely tapped into her full potential at this time, but the next year, 2023, one song in particular would launch her to the very top tier of the rap world. Sexyy Red had ended 2022 on a high note, securing herself a feature with R&B superstar Summer Walker on the song Sense That God Gave You. But this song was unlike any other Summer Walker song, as it appears to be almost a parody of the ratchet style music that Sexyy Red has gotten so good at making. Summer herself can clearly sing exceptionally well, but on this track, she chose purposely to change her tone and style to fit in with Sexyy Red's style, with the same explicit and shocking style of lyrics that you would expect, along with a music video with the same vibes, which actually would depict a pregnant Summer Walker twerking and dancing around a gas station alongside Sexyy as they rapped along to the vulgar song while holding a baby. The track would give Sexyy a lot of momentum moving into 2023, landing 8 million views, making it her biggest appearance on a song to date. And in January 2023, Sexyy Red would ultimately release her massive hit, Pound Town, produced by beat-making beast Tay Keith. And although the song featured very typical lyrics of what we've come to expect of Sexyy Red by this point, there was one bar in particular that caused the song to spread.
Bro, I'm out of town, thugging with my rounds. Bro, like, when I first heard this, bro, I could not believe it was a real song, bro. I could not believe it was a real song. Insane.
Spread like wildfire. It was a bar where she, how can I put this? She described the color of her various holes. The official music video for that track also released the very same month. However, it wasn't until the boxed-in live performance at a wig store was released that caused the song to go more viral than ever. The combination of the hilarious lyrics and the backdrop, as well as the goofy security guard standing behind Sexyy, was ultimately the ultimate recipe to cause this song to go super viral. Her formula worked, and the song had people talking all about her holes from all over the world. Whether there was hate or not, it gained a lot of extra views and traction for Sexyy Red, leading many people to circulate interesting conspiracies about how exactly this talentless...
So they were asking, like, how does somebody with no talent get famous? This one person said, because a group of white men sitting in a boardroom somewhere decided to find the poorest, most uneducated black female out there, tell them they will make her rich as long as she makes music that degrades all black women and destroys their image. The same group of racist white people that found poor drug dealing young brothers in the projects, Biggie, Puffy, Jay-Z, etc., and set them up to be millionaires by making songs that stereotype black men for decades. No other race of people are stupid enough to fall for that BS. That's an interesting narrative, bro, because I kind of fall in that mindset, too, of what this individual said, bro, because for years, people have been profiting off of black people and black people's culture and kind of what we like. Now, I'm not saying that Sexyy Red is black people culture, but it is a derivative of what our culture is like. Yeah, okay, we have slang. Yeah, okay, we like bright colors and we do our hair different from most people, but I'm not saying that we go as far as Sexyy Red. And like I said earlier in the video, bro, Sexyy Red is only so big, one, because she says things that people don't ever think someone would say on a song, and two, she fits the image of what America feels like a black woman is, bro. And that's sad because that's not how black women are. That's not how my sister is. It's not how my mother is. It's not how my family is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, because she fits that image of what they think or they want black women to look like, I feel like that's why she has that platform. So I definitely agree with this comment, bro, because it really seems that way. And then when you take a step back and look at rap, like I seen a perfect example the other day, bro. It's like, think of your favorite. Have you ever seen a Gucci commercial or a Louis Vuitton commercial, like advertising, bro? Like an actual commercial, like on TV or on YouTube or something like that. You don't really see it. Want to know why? Because, oh, let me sponsor this one rapper to just wear it. And that's the biggest advertisement that they can get. Because what does rap typically... You know, who's the audience that typically listens to rap, right? And that's why they like, oh, let me make this rapper put on this Gucci. Let me make this rapper put on these diamonds. Let me make this rapper put on these Amiris so that the kids in these inner cities can see this and they can aspire to get the same thing. We're literally advertising for these people, bro. And they don't got... Like, I believe it, bro. I'm yadding, man. Let me play the video.
Rapper had become so famous all of a sudden. It's easy to call someone an industry plant when you're oblivious to the amount of work that they've been putting in for years. 2 months after this, Sexyy would release another official video for her track Pound Town, which now sits on a whopping 33 million views. At this point, she had reached a new peak in the industry and actually became the hottest thing in hip-hop, receiving co-signs from many industry giants like Nicki Minaj, who even made a part 2 to Pound Town. Sexyy would release 2 more singles that matched the hype of Pound Town in June 2023, one of which being Sexyy, another Tay Keith produced banger that pushed Sexyy Red further into the mainstream conversation. And Sexyy remained calculated in her moves, even making the Sexyy dance attached to the song go viral in its own right.
Like, do y'all know what that means? Ski. Okay, ski. That's when, like, if you see a cute girl or somebody with a big booty, or you trying to holler at somebody, or they call that the geek call, the geek. A geek is a crackhead, a dope fiend. Like, when you serving geeks where I'm from, that's a geek call. Like, if you see some geeks on the other side of the street, like, ski, so they know you got that in. Yeah, but that's what we do, wrong.
Now, these tactics that were used to promote Sexy's music and pump up the streams were really working. Now, Sexyy is sitting on an astronomical 31 million views. Sexyy was at an all-time high at this point, and she would even launch her own lip gloss brand. And in typical fashion, she took the vulgar energy of her music and applied it to selling her products, with the shock factor making her launch super viral too. She would actually name each product in the lineup of lip glosses after famous lyrics from her songs, with one even being named after an STD. She would use names like Coochie Juice, Booty Hole Brown, Coochie Pink, Nut, and Gonorrhea. That's crazy, but super.
Bro, come on, man. And people buying this? Come on, bro. Like, this is insane, bro. It is so unbelievable. And I feel like they're using that as a shock factor to sell, bro. Because it's like, if you like me, it's like, there's no way that this is real. There's no way that this is real. And people going to look it up. People going to research it. People going to buy it, bro. It's insane.
Super viral. I mean, it's clear that Sexyy was deliberately going after outrage to get people talking about her, and it was working like a charm. However, it was by this point that some of the public began to speak out about how they were disgusted by the lyrical content and Sexyy Red's unapologetic attitude in her music videos. Many articles and video essays would be released debating whether having role models around like Sexyy Red was actually doing harm to society rather than just providing entertainment, with all of this discourse raising more difficult questions about females' place in hip-hop and whether talent takes a backseat over sex appeal. To the masses, it could be argued that as long as a female has the image, sex appeal, and raunchy lyrics, they can shortcut to a massively successful career in music, with the theory being supported by success of recent recent rappers
What
like
I say?
Sukihana, Cardi
Bro, Sukihana, I might have to do a video on her, bro, because she might be worse than Sexy, bro. But what I tell y'all, bro.
B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Glorilla all using these so-called tactics. But in my opinion, Sexyy Red's appeal is really just the result of her being a truly authentic depiction of herself. She is indeed a sexy, ratchet, female blood. But regardless, Sexyy was not going to let her momentum slow up for anybody. And in August 2023, she and Sukihana would team up to release possibly the most raunchy song of all time, titled Hood Rats. Now, I probably can't even show you these lyrics on YouTube, but her and Sukihana they're basically looking for a guy that likes to eat the brown Skittles, if you catch my drift. And in the second verse, they even seem to suggest they want to suck the dust out of Joe Biden. Sexyy even went on to appear on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast, boldly admitting that she had caught 2 STDs previously.
I had chlamydia before though, twice.
Okay.
But
That's the most
pretty common.
Yeah, very common.
Bro, on a podcast, bro, you get what I'm saying? Like, what is being pushed here, bro? Like, what happened to privacy? Why is this public information for somebody? Like, is she just openly saying this? Like, ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. Like, it's insane, bro.
This what happened. Me and my together, and we broke up because he was cheating on me. So then we broke up. Then I went and did me. Then he did him, and then we missed each other, came back together.
Something went right.
We both was like, "What's this smell?"
Oh shit!
Like.
And she's smiling, gang.
Yeah, we missed each other, came back together.
Something went right.
We both was like, "What's this smell?"
Oh shit!
Like, ugh, what's going on? So then we both went to the doctor. Yeah, went to the doctor together. And then we both was like, "Well, you fuck 2 people," and he like, "You fuck 2 people too." I'm like, well, we don't know who did it.
Damn.
We still don't know.
Did y'all
who
call
did
the people that y'all was with and let them know that something went right?
I think I know who did it. But I'm gonna blame my baby daddy though.
Yeah, blame him.
Now, Sexy's music was getting dirtier by the song, but if Megan Cardi's filthy hit WAP taught us anything, it's that sex sells, and the dirtier the drawers, the stronger the stench. This approach of shock and awe in her music actually allowed Sexyy Red to stand out, and to some, get more respect, as she was so brutally honest and funny in her music.
Dog, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm actually disgusted by that comment. She talking about what's that smell. I'm actually like genuinely disgusted, bro. That's nasty, dog. That's insane, bro.
You just wanted to keep listening, and she knew her formula was gold, and she didn't slow up from there. Sexyy would ultimately go on a spree of scoring numerous all-star features during this time, all while being pregnant. She linked up with Lil Durk on the track Hellcats and SRTs in September, Chief Keef in the remix to the track F My Baby Daddy, but in October, Sexyy would receive possibly the biggest moment in her career when she appeared on the Drake song Rich Baby Daddy along with SZA, featuring on the hook and making one
the Drake stimulus, that should be hitting.
One of the biggest moments on Drake's entire album. And to think that Sexyy came from her humble beginnings, making songs for fun, dissing an ex-partner, to collaborating with the biggest artist in the world and making the biggest moment of her album is truly astounding. And to make the situation more viral, Sexyy was pregnant around this time, and the video would even show Drake and SZA taking Sexyy to deliver the baby at the hospital, even causing rumors that Drake may well have been the father. Not another one. Anyway, moving into 2024, Sexyy went on to continue making big and clever moves, such as appearing on a stream with Aiden Ross and pretending they hooked up, a smart way to tap in with his young but huge audience, establishing a good relationship in the streaming industry. Just a few days after that, Sexyy would release the music video to her new song, Get It Sexy, another viral anthem featuring all the components for a hit record. The video would have an appearance from none other than Soulja Boy doing the classic Crank That dance, Aiden Ross would be in the video streaming himself into a cherry pie, and Drake would appear as Sexy's date. Now, Billboard already considered the song a viral hit just days within its release.
Crazy,
and at this point,
bro.
Sexyy Red was becoming a cheat code for other people to go viral. Even her Breakfast Club appearance would have everybody talking, as Sexyy, just being herself, chose to stand on business, appearing on the show with no filter, making it immediately clear that she's not fond of the new co-host, Jess Hilarious.
Well, when you came in here, I spoke to you, and the first thing you said was, "No, you can at least look at me."
She don't even want to look at you.
For real, you ain't gotta mess with me, but you can look at me.
You walked in and said, "Hey, Charlamagne,
No,
hey,
but
DJ Envy," just said hello. She was like, "You be sneak dissing."
Yo, I was gonna say my damn self. I'm right here.
I missed that. You missed it. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, no, I spoke to her, and she said, "I don't mess with you, Jess." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Cause you be sneak dissing." I said, "All right, tell me what's wrong. Tell me about it. What's up?"
I don't mess with you.
All right, let me know why.
You be sneak dissing.
All right, how do you feel like I sneak diss?
I see everything. I was trying to make sure y'all wasn't
understand.
sneak dissing before I came up here too.
Where we sneak diss?
That's crazy.
Where we sneak diss?
Whether Sexyy Red's persona affects
Now, see, that I can stand behind. Like, if somebody sneak dissing and talking down on your name, you know what I'm saying, in a way that you don't like, you know, in a way that don't bring positive light to you. Like, I get it. And then you got to go on a platform, I'm saying, for sure. Like, she should stand on business. So that's one thing out of the many things in this video that I can say I stand behind her on.
Offends the masses or not, it's hard to ignore the strides that she's taken in her career. Many may criticize her, claiming that she used overly sexual and vulgar lyrics to catapult herself to the top of the game. However, behind it all, there's clearly a well-calculated talent and strategy making everything happen. The recipe was perfect, and it could easily be repeated over and over again. Yet Sexyy Red's unique charisma meant that by just being herself, she's managed to go viral repeatedly. Seemingly, she's still the same hood rat she was in her first ever releases. With rappers like Cardi B becoming megastars in the late 2010s and singles like WAP reaching Billboard's #1 spot, maybe the success of these types of rappers is more of a reflection of how our society leans more towards ratchet and overly sexualized content. Now, that's not to say that that's the only way that female artists can get ahead, as there's still plenty of lyrically gifted and talented female MCs that all have their share of success and acclaim. Rappers like Little Sims, No Name, and Rhapsody all break those stereotypes that have been attached to females within hip-hop, and many of them have managed to become successful in the male-dominated rap scene without ever having to describe the color of their booty holes.
Not gonna lie, chat, I have no idea who any of those people are. And that's just and I'm not saying they're not dope, and I'm not, after this I'm gonna go check them out, but my whole thing is like, it just proves that if you're not degenerate or saying something that's foul or off the wall crazy, that you're not gonna get pushed, you're not gonna go viral, you're not gonna get that you know, exposure like that somebody like Sexyy Red would get, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure those individuals, those 3 females, make dope music, bro. I'm 1000% sure they do, but they'll probably never get that type of exposure Sexyy Red gets because they're not degrading themselves. You know what I'm saying?
And despite the sex-driven shortcuts that Sexyy Red has seemingly benefited from, that doesn't mean that she didn't still have a hard come-up. After an appearance on Lil Yachty's podcast, Sexyy would even give an insight into some of the real horrors that she'd been a victim to in her past.
Can you tell us like the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
Crazy. It's gonna stay between us.
I got over. That's the craziest thing that ever happened to me.
Damn.
Maybe something a little under that.
Okay,
maybe something. Okay,
I mean, I don't know. Like,
maybe something.
Shootout?
Yeah, there we go. Shootouts, you know.
There we go.
High speed?
That's more what we were thinking.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Wait.
We just want to say we are sorry to
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, wait, that's definitely
that is bad.
That is unfortunate.
It's not something we should speak on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the shootouts and stuff.
No, so I feel like this is taken out of context. Like this clip, it's kind of out of context in the sense of where it kind of seems like that Yachty and Mitch kind of didn't care that she was, you know what I'm saying, what she said. That wasn't the case. The interview, if y'all watched it, because I watched it, like, shout out to the Safe Place podcast, it was lighthearted. They was laughing and joking, and literally they asked her this question after laughing about something, and then she says that. So it kind of like it's because it caught them off guard. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Wow. You know, you have done a lot of things.
Yeah, I have.
And now you're a big rapper.
It isn't as if she was just given a career without any hardships in life. And whether or not the public hates Sexyy Red or believe her success is all just a clever marketing tactic, manipulating the streams and using sex to bait engagement, ultimately she's just being herself, and it's paid off handsomely.
I'm grown. Why do I gotta hide what I want to do? I'm grown, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. When people say I'm acting a certain way or I'm being myself, like, what? All I know is to be me, you know? So I don't know how to be no other way. They be saying what you saying, but I'm saying I'm being a hoe because I'm being myself.
So from being practically unknown at the start of 2023 to being at the top of the industry in 2024, clearly Sexyy Red is a legend in the making and will definitely be here to stay. Let me know in the comments what you think.
Yeah, so shout out to Trap Lil Ross, man, W video, man, but I get it, you know what I'm saying? Sexyy Red is being herself, and if that's truly how she is, I understand that. She's just an individual like any one of us who happens to get a platform and didn't change. One of the biggest things people say, especially I know in the black community, is, oh, somebody got on and they changed. Sexyy Red is technically exactly who she's always been, and I'm sure there's thousands, maybe even millions of other Sexyy Reds in this country. The only thing is, though, is that Sexyy Red now has a platform. So there's that debate where it's like, is Sexyy Red now responsible for kind of cleaning up her image because she is now somebody that kids look up to? Because at the end of the day, it's not really like she asked to be somebody's role model. She just happened to be potentially somebody's role model or in the position to be somebody's role model. You get what I'm saying? So it's like there's that moral debate. Like, yes, a lot of the things that Sexyy Red does, says, and a lot of the way that she acts is morally wrong. It's a lot of things that shouldn't be said on the internet. Like, he didn't touch on it much, but she released her own sex tape. Apparently it was by accident, right? But we know you know what I'm saying, it was from her phone and she knew the dude was about to do it, whatever. That's beside the case. So it's like a lot of the things that Sexyy Red has done is shameful. It brings shame to the black community, I feel like. And on the other side of it, though, is like I do understand where she's just like, oh, I'm just being myself. I just happen to be famous. So I do think that Sexyy Red is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sexyy Red is adding, or she's kind of helping or aiding, right, the negative image of black women. 100%. We can't say that she's not. And not just black women, the black community in general, right? So I can't say that she's not, but it's also like, in a way, she's just being herself. So it's like, is it fair for us to say, oh, because Sexyy Red acts like this, now everyone thinks all black women act like that, and then blame that on Sexyy Red? We can't do that because it's not her fault. You know what I'm saying? It's up to other individuals to be smart enough to be like, well, just because one person acts like this doesn't mean they all do. But let's take a step back outside of that, right? Play devil's advocate. People see something on the internet and believe that's just the truth. That's how everyone is, right? It's like when you're on Instagram or you're on TikTok and you scroll and you see people living a good life. Usually those rich people, that's like 10% of everybody in America. The other 90% live just like you and me, normal, everyday people. You get what I'm saying? But it's like internet has a way of making it seem like that's how everyone is. So it's hard to say, bro. I do think, my personal opinion, I'm going to give my 2 cents, is that some of the stuff that Sexyy Red does, I wish she didn't, because she does have a platform. Like I said, it was the video of the little kids, and I believe they were doing like their own little talent show in the living room, and they were singing her lyrics, bro. There was another video of a teacher who was crying because the kids were singing Sexyy Red in the classroom, and we're talking about children from the age of 3 to 5 years old singing her song. So it's like, when you put that out there, it's like, man, Sexyy Red, can you switch it up a little bit or clean it up a little bit? So I don't know, man. It's a tough thing, or a tough position for Sexyy Red to be in. Potentially, I'm sure she don't think about it that much, knowing how her character is. But just kind of putting myself in her shoes, that's a tough situation for her to be in, is where she's torn between being herself and then being somebody that's suitable for the public eye. But I don't know. I think Sexyy Red is as big as she is because that's what America thinks black women act like. And because of that, they're giving that degeneracy. They're giving that negativity. They're giving all of that light to somebody so that they can make black women and ultimately African Americans look a certain way. I'm not saying the system is set up against us, but we all know that it probably is. But anyways, man, it's your boy Frankie. I'm out of here, man. If y'all like the video, I know y'all already hit the like button because y'all like Squad, man. If you like my commentary, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be dropping these reaction videos back to back to back, goddamn. But other than that, I'm out of here. Later.